crash hard, the shore don't break. Roots go deep, no storm can take. This land of ours where hearts ignite. Saipan stands holding tight. Tinian whispers, winds that heal. Roar rises, forged in steel. Island strong, we carry on. Through the dark, we find the dawn. Hold the line, we sing our song. Saipan, Tinian, Rota, Island strong. Sky turns gray, but we don't fall. Towers crumble, we rebuild all. Sweat and tears, they mark the ground. Every loss, the strength we found. Mountains call, they stand so proud. Oceans roar, but we're not cowed. Island strong, we carry on. Through the dark, we find the dawn. Hold the line, we sing our song. Saipan, Tinian, Rota, Island strong. Island strong, we carry on. Through the dark, we find the dawn. Hold the line, we sing our song. Saipan, Tinian, Rota, Island strong.
All right, good morning, Marianas. It is Wednesday. It is wet and it is sloppy and nasty, but we've got good stuff coming up for you. We're going to have Landon Idlet on with us to talk about the weather in just a minute. But first, let's get your headlines from the Associated Press.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. President Trump insists the U.S. is talking with Iran, naming Steve Witkoff, son-in-law Jared Kushner, along with Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
We're in negotiations right now. They're doing it along with Marco, J.D. We have a number of people doing it. And the other side, I can tell you, they'd like to make a deal.
Iran has denied it in negotiations, but John Gambrell reports.
In the last day, we have seen an increased flurry of activity that involves Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi calling a series of countries around the region. And officials that have spoken to the Associated Press describe Pakistan, Egypt, and Turkey really leading the charge and trying to get some forward momentum on what Trump said.
Airstrikes battered Iran again today while it fired a dozen missile barrages at Israel, and missiles from Lebanese militants also triggered air raid sirens there. In financial markets, oil prices were rising again. Brent crude up 4.6% to settle above $104 per barrel. On Wall Street, the main stock indexes wobbled to a lower close. The Dow down 84 points, or 0.2%. The S&P dropped 0.4, the Nasdaq 8. On Capitol Hill, senators are working on a proposal to end the Homeland Security shutdown. It's led to long waits at airport security checkpoints, with TSA workers going unpaid and hundreds quitting. Federal investigators say a runway warning system didn't sound an alarm before an Air Canada jet and a fire truck collided at New York's LaGuardia Airport. National Transportation Safety Board Chair Jennifer Homendy.
Our aviation system is incredibly safe because there are multiple layers of defense built in to prevent an accident. So when something goes wrong, that means many things went wrong.
The 2 pilots were killed and several passengers injured in Sunday night's incident. This is AP News. Sagar Magani reports President Trump's done the very thing he's urging Congress to severely restrict.
The president has voted by mail in a Florida special legislative election, days after again ripping mail-in voting as cheating.
We're the only country in the world that does it that way, corrupt as hell.
Though several European democracies are among the dozens of countries using some form of mail-in balloting. The president's pushing Congress to pass the SAVE Act, which among other things would bar universal mail-in voting. Aides say the president's issue is not with individual voters who may not be able to get to a polling place. Still, in his case, early in-person voting ran through Sunday when he was still at his South Florida estate. Sagar Magani, Washington.
Florida is holding 3 special elections today for state legislative seats. There's more news and the latest developments at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
If you see something, say something. And stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
As the day unfolds with laughter and cheer, Brad's got the magic that brings us all near. Sharing tales of hope, dreams that shine bright. Good morning, Marianas, together we ignite. So join the palm trees, we dance through the days. Rhythm and soul in so many ways. Together we rise through the moments we share. Good morning, Marianas, feel the love everywhere. Wake up to the sunshine in the morning light. Good vibes all around, everything feels right. Brad on the show, bringing joy to our day. Into the Marianas breeze, let the worries drift away. Yeah, that was the air. Connection grows stronger. We show that we care. Rock on, feel the soulful flow. Look right on in Mariana, that's where you belong. The sweet island breeze and the ocean's embrace. Brad's got the stories, sunlight repays. Some signs that the tinted fall in this ride. Yeah, we're shining with love as our guide. So raise your voices high, let the music play on. Good morning, Marianas, we're where you belong.
Good morning, Marianas. It is a wet and sloppy Wednesday morning here in the CNMI. I'll still take it over anything you got anywhere else in the world. But I'll tell you what, it is a sloppy day, no doubt about it. It is rainy, it is sloppy, it is not exactly the safest stuff out there. But hey, we got you covered. We're going to talk all about that. We got our buddy Landon Idlet. He's coming on with us here pretty soon. He's going to be talking about, where the heck did this rain come from? I know. He gave us fair warning in the Outlook. We've got it for sure. So we're excited about it. But right now, my gosh, let's just celebrate the free car wash. By the way, speaking of things that we can celebrate, well, we're celebrating Lent, and while we're doing it, they've got great lunch specials over there at Surf Club in Saipan. Now, don't worry, you can eat meat today. That's true. It's official. Beep, 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 beep. This just in, breaking news. You're allowed to eat meat today. Check out these lunch specials over here at Surf Club Saipan. They're right down the street in CK, right behind the Surf Rider Hotel. You can't miss it. The same place, it's right behind Great Harvest too, but look at these lunch specials. On a rainy day, all these things look like they're going to hit the spot, and the question is, who's going to get there first? Last one there is a rotten egg over there at Surf Club. Go check them out today. They've got so many things that you're able to sample today and enjoy, and this is just a little bit of them. So go check it out. We'll be there, and we'll see if we can see you there today, too. Hey, now we're not going to mess around too long. We're going to call this guy. He should be ready for us. Let me make sure. It looks like he is, so let's just give him a call now. We're just going to jump right in and give him a ring. And then after that, we're going to get to traffic. Basically, it's kind of ready or not, here we come to Landon. Because he told us what time he'd be ready, and it should be right about now. We got a great view of the ceiling over there. If you get bored to death while you're over there in Guam land, now you know exactly what you're going to wake up to. There's something Cosby-esque about that view over there that is a little disheartening, but a little disturbing maybe. But anyway, great to see you. It's our buddy Landon Idlet over there in Guam.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is a heck of a morning. There's all kinds of stuff going on. As a meteorologist speaking to our typical March, where's the dry season? It's just not happening.
No.
And the weather pattern, there's so much to talk about this morning. Because I think looking through the forecast, I think we have a very weak forecast through today and into the weekend, just because the environment of what we're dealing with. And so I'm gonna turn my camera around. There's our current radar, lots of showers out there. And you notice here around Guam, there's just not much movement. Things are sitting kind of erratic. The motions are very light and variable. Looks like we've got a little bit of a southwesterly push of showers and some thunderstorms out there moving up toward the northeast toward Rota. Rota right here is kind of in a convergence zone. So there's a lot of showers sitting right over Rota. But if you look up at Saipan and Tinian, I think probably behind your shoulder, Brad, there's a lot of wind out there. So let me go turn to this other screen here.
I can
and
confirm.
You can't see that.
While you're doing that,
Yeah,
I can confirm the wind. We were getting blown around last night and this morning.
Yeah, so let me get my keyboard out of the way. Okay, this is what I want to look at. This is the satellite-derived sea surface winds, and it's really hard to make out here, but Guam right there, we're looking at light and variable winds over Guam, close to Rota, but Saipan and Tinian, we're seeing winds gusting around, sustained winds around 15 to 25 miles per hour. We're looking at some gusts at the Saipan airport, upwards of 35 mile per hour wind gusts across Saipan. So Wireless Ridge, you're probably banging pretty good up there across the higher elevations. But we got this belt of stronger winds right up there, pushing right over Saipan and Tinian. Again, there's sustained winds of around 15 to 25 miles per hour and gusts upwards of 35, almost 40 mile per hour wind gusts at Saipan Airport. And those are going to be gustier with those passing showers. But a very big difference between locations from Guam and Rota all the way to Saipan and Tinian. So we're going to open this back up to the satellite. Let me find that right quick. It's just a very odd pattern for this time of year. I can't stress it enough that this is a very unusual weather pattern for this type of the year. We have this broad circulation feature over there, these green lines. Those are the wind, the streamlines across the region. Showing a broad circulation over here. We have another circulation over here near Yap. That was formerly Invest 98W, but that has since been closed with no suspect development occurring there. So this is just this weak circulation system, a troughing going across the Palau Yap south of Guam and across Chuuk. And this pattern is going to be sitting nearly idle for the next several days, keeping things kind of erratic and very unusual for this time of year in March, when we should be seeing surging trades across the area. We do have trade winds surging across Saipan, but this weaker pattern is going to stick across Micronesia for several more days and then eventually shift eastward. So let me turn off these streamlines and open up the radar, the satellite picture. Lots of clouds, a lot of showers across Chuuk Lagoon down here, and then also upstream or just east of Saipan and Rota. So all these showers, they're going to be lingering around for us. The weather pattern for CNMI is vastly different from Guam, where we have that, again, very calm, light and variable wind flow, showers and thunderstorms. We had about 3 hours of thunderstorms just offshore of Guam yesterday evening, and overnight was periods of heavy showers across parts of the island. The showers across Saipan, they are zipping on by, but it's just an abundance of moisture. So again, where is the dry season? It's definitely not happening here. We had about 7 or 8 days of dryness last week. We had about 0.05 of an inch of rain over 8 days, but that has come to an end as the weather pattern has materialized. Again, we're looking at the weather forecast, and it's just a very atypical pattern. We're looking at the scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms continuing across the islands through tonight. The wind forecast is a very weak forecast, I think, because of the situation we're in with the variable winds here at Guam and the surging trades at Saipan. So that may be updated throughout the day today. The water conditions advisories have been discontinued. Seas and surf continue to fall across the region, which is the good news. But we're going to have to reevaluate conditions across Saipan with those surging trade winds. We may have to hoist a small craft advisory based on the wind conditions over the waters in Saipan. So do keep up to date with the weather forecasting conditions at our webpage, weather.gov/GUM, as things evolve. This is a very evolutionary weather pattern that we've seen for the last couple of weeks, couple of months, as things are just very unusual for this time of the year. Surf conditions, 6 to 8 foot surf along north and east facing reefs and beaches, lesser surf across south and west exposures. So again, keep your eye to the waves and the surf, as rip currents will be moderate to strong at times over the next several days. It's just, again, it's a very 2026. What more can you say?
Yeah, no kidding. It has been an interesting year so far, and we're experiencing that weather. My gosh, I can tell you that I don't know if it's because of the weather, but it was cold in Rota when we were in Rota over the weekend. And I know that sounds silly, but it was cold. And I'm not the only one who came down with a little bit of something while we were there, because I spoke with a bunch of people who got sick while we were over there. And I wonder if it wasn't because of the I mean, it wasn't like a food thing or anything. It was like just, getting congested and all that stuff. And I think it had something to do with this weather.
Happen. That can happen. Definitely, if it's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. If you get out there, you get in the showers, and it's definitely cooler. Mm-hmm. It's definitely a pattern change from what we're typically used to in this region this time of the year. So that could be an effect. Play it safe. But again, keep an eye on the weather conditions. I'm going to turn back to the satellite right quick, because one of the other things we're watching for, there's some chatter of the tropical cyclone, the global tropical cyclone listserv in an email group. We're watching these westerly winds. So this is the equator right here. Mm-hmm. And we've been seeing a persistent belt of west winds across the region south of our area. When we see these west winds across the equator, that's a sign of things are changing across the Western and Central Pacific. And so we are in that transition period. An El Nino watch has been declared by the Climate Prediction Center. That was in the last monthly diagnostic discussion for the ENSO cycle. La Nina advisory remains in effect, but that's going to be coming to an end very soon as we transition to ENSO neutral. But we've seen this persistent push of west winds along the equator, and that's a sign of things are changing and possibly fairly rapidly across the Western and Central Pacific. So this is, I think, what we've seen so far in 2026 is just the beginning of things to come later this year. As far as it's going to be an interesting year to watch. So again, keep keep your head on swivel because this is going to be a very interesting year for weather and conditions across the Western Pacific. Again, it's going to be interesting as we go into the weekend or next week. We might see a number of tropical disturbances form in Micronesia. Right now, we don't see any suspect areas that may be threatening Guam and the CNMI, but we're going to see probably several circulations form somewhere in Micronesia that may warrant invest areas by the JTWC just for observational purposes. Again, no credible concerns or threats of something coming our way, but we're going to probably see several disturbances develop in the Micronesia region. It is also Tsunami Awareness Week in the United States. So in our weather outlook we put out yesterday, we were talking about tsunami awareness and preparedness. And one of the things I like to talk about are the advisories. Back on July 30th last year, we had the Kamchatka earthquake and tsunami threat to our region. And there was a lot of confusion about advisories and warnings and watches. What do they mean? What does the alert status mean? And so at the basis, we have a tsunami watch. That means that a tsunami is possible. Don't take a lot of action, but listen and be prepared to take action if that watch gets upgraded to an advisory or a warning. And so advisory, that was added, that was a new alert status added in 2014 to say that a tsunami is coming, but stay out of the water and away from the shore. This is not necessary for a full-scale evacuation of coastal areas, but it just means it's going to be more of a harbor wave, strong currents and some erratic waves and currents in the waters. But if we are looking at a major tsunami threat, that would be a tsunami warning, means get to higher ground and inland immediately, follow evacuation signs. So these are the big alerts that you need to be familiar with. So tsunami watch means that a tsunami is possible. A tsunami advisory means that a tsunami is expected, but it's going to be small with strong currents. And a tsunami warning means that a tsunami is expected that could cause problems and inundation. So know your advisories, your status, and the difference between all of those so that when we have another tsunami threat, you know exactly what each of those means. And so we had a 7.6 magnitude earthquake in Tonga yesterday afternoon. Fortunately for us, we had no tsunami threat to the region. The Tsunami Warning Center did issue an information statement, meaning that an earthquake occurred, but there's no threat with that distant event. No action is needed at this time. If there was a threat or concern, then we probably would have gone into a tsunami watch and then monitored that closely. And that watch could be canceled or it could be upgraded to a tsunami advisory or warning if a tsunami was then expected. So know your alerts. This is going to be on our Facebook page, U.S. National Weather Service Guam Facebook. Later today, I'll be posting all this information about the tsunami alerts for Guam and the CNMI, and so that you can be clear and know the differences on what they mean. And again, I think a well-educated public is a prepared public. And so we want to make sure that everybody knows those status and what they mean, what they don't mean. So if we're in a tsunami watch, you don't need to go into a full-scale evacuation. If we're in a tsunami advisory, take basic precautions, get out of the water, get off the beaches. But if there's a warning, that's where we have to take more actions. And of course, we work closely with CNMI, Homeland Security Office across the CNMI, and make sure that they are well equipped to receive those communications and also put out the communications to the public so that there's minimal panic and alarm, especially false alarms. We want to prevent that from happening.
So that's because it is Tsunami Week, and if there was a problem, he'd solve it. Check out the hook while Landon revolves it. He's got it made, getting us all up to date on what's happening. We ended up posting that. Thank you so much. When you sent that stuff out yesterday, it's really good. So we did a completely separate story just about that. So it can be a standalone for all that stuff. But, stuff like this is a really good talk that, I think folks at the different schools could really benefit from hearing stuff like this, one-on-one to let people know, because that is the anecdotal thing that we hear. Oh, don't worry, the reef is going to save us. Oh, don't worry, the trench is going to save us. No problem. But hearing stuff like this changes that.
Now, there's a lot of myths out there, and of course, I think you saw that in the email yesterday, the myths versus facts for tsunami threats and hazards to the region. I will post these advisories and these alerts to our Facebook page today. maybe later today or tomorrow, I'm going to do another post for Tsunami Ready, but it's going to be kind of a scavenger hunt. And I want your participation. Those watching, I want y'all to get involved.
Yes.
We have tsunami signs all around the CNMI on Rota, Tinian, and Saipan. There might be those round evacuation signs or the evacuation routes, or there might be the rectangular ones showing assembly areas.
Mm-hmm.
Take note of where those signs are, because when I post to our Facebook page later today or tomorrow, I want people to start posting the signs where they see them and their location, because I think we see them so frequently that we start to tune them out, like speed limit signs. When you're driving, you don't even see them anymore because you're so used to seeing it. But we have tsunami signs all over the islands. Take a picture of those when you're not driving, or when you can do so safely. Take a picture and post it to our Facebook page, the sign and the location, and let's see what kind of a feedback we can get. Think of it as a scavenger hunt across the island. So that'll be coming up later today or tomorrow.
Well, there might be other reasons why we don't see the speed limit signs. It might be selective seeing.
You might be going too fast to see it.
Yeah, yeah. But that's a great idea. And you win a free wave with every tsunami sign. So we're looking for take a photo of all of the tsunami watch and tsunami evacuation zone signs. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
In fact,
and there's a lot of them up there in Saipan. I saw so many up there just a couple weeks ago when I was there, and they're big ones too, so you can't miss it. So
they are.
I want to see a good turnout.
All right, so I got a question for you. Do you guys have some cool weather stuff that we could give to like whoever gets the most signs or whoever gets the most likes on a sign or something?
Let me look through my pocket, my drawers over here. I got some great, I love Saipan stuff.
Oh.
No, I got something more NOAA specific, a patch. I got several patches that I've been meaning to give away to people. So let me see how we can play this out, because I do have some giveaways that I want to say thank you for your support. And I got a number of patches, so maybe we can do something with some patches.
I love it.
Whoever posts the most pictures, and Brad, you can help me keep track of that maybe, and we'll have a patch on standby.
I love it. The weather guys, by the way, it looks like they definitely enjoy beverages, because just built into their name, it says no AA. Like, that's the whole thing. They are all in on that. It's got to be a rough life being involved with the weather.
Back.
All right. Well, Landon, there's so many great things happening. Today is the 25th. 9 months left until Christmas. I know that you're probably already starting to decorate.
Whew. Well, I'm starting to dismantle. I've actually, you notice I have this mountain of papers. Those are gone. So things are going to change dramatically in the next week or so in this office. I'm going to be joining you live on location somewhere in a mystery location next week with a big announcement. Some exciting stuff next week. But this office is going to be changing, and then I'll start getting ready for Christmas. We do have a small tower project going on later this weekend at the Anderson Air Force Elementary School. That's going to be a test build for our cause. The test build is going to be for our 9/11 towers that we're going to be doing in August and September later this year. But I have to do a test build to run numbers and make some calculations to see if I need to buy more blocks. So we'll see what happens.
I figured that's got to be something that you're going to have to do for this 9/11 tribute that you guys got going on. That's going to be amazing. Yeah. I can't wait. Any other new fundraising things that you're having with Be Heartfelt?
Right now, we're in the off season. So again, I know Be Heartfelt's always looking for volunteers to do the meal pack program with the food bank. And I know Bank of Guam just volunteered a bunch of staff and time to pack some of those meals just in the last couple of days. And that's all distributed on the weekend. So if you're interested in volunteering your time up there in Saipan, do reach out to me and I can put you in contact with Lori and see how you can get involved with the volunteer efforts to pack some of those meals and get those to the schools and the social workers to get those to the students in need.
Hey, one last thing. Next time you get out here, we got to hook you up with our buddy Derek Cutting and Jeff Hostaki. They just did this great thing on Monday. Every other Monday, there's austerity for the schools, so public schools out. But they did free haircuts for kids, and they did a clothing drive to get stuff out for kids, and they ended up giving it out to adults too because they had so much stuff. So, but it's and Derek owns Laddie Built 24-Hour Fitness, him and his wife. So it's a great gym. So it'll be a great spot for you to visit when you come over here too. I think you've been known to lift a weight or two from time to time. Got some folks in the comments saying, Ignacio says, "Thank you, Landon. Don't worry, we won't be blaming Brandon for this cool wet weather." And just after that, you got Saipan Nettie saying hashtag blame Brandon weather. And so there's all kinds of back and forth with regards to this stuff. It is great. It is great.
Oh, my gosh.
All right. Well, hey, enjoy it down there in Guam. We're going to get through this. We're going to talk about traffic here as it continues to slop around out there here in the Northern Marianas.
Yeah, stay safe out there with the showers and those winds. If you stand out there too long, it's going to set your hairlines back a couple inches. So watch out.
That's what we're talking about. Shear lines and hairlines here with the weather guy. Thanks, Landon, not Brandon. It's Brandon Weather. Brandon Weather. But we got Landon here with us together. Thanks so much.
See y'all.
All right. That's Landon Idlet. He's on here with us talking about weather and letting us know that we got to keep our eyes peeled south. All those weather guys talking about what's happening with those west winds to the southwest. There's an El Nino watch out there, which, as Chris Farley has told us, means the Nino. So we'll find out what's happening.
The Nino.
I am El Nino, which is Spanish for the Nino. All right. Well, we're gonna take a look at traffic. When we come back, we're gonna take a real quick break. Thanks, Landon. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Hey, bro, can I grab your bush?
Yeah, man, go for it.
Right on. Thanks, bro. Hey, bro, can I grab your bush too?
Sure, bro. Go ahead.
Thanks.
Now I can grab my own bush. Saipan, it's time to grab your bush. Pick up a 12-pack of ice-cold bush, and you're in for more than just a refreshing beer. Every 12-pack gives you a chance to win exclusive bush gear and more. So don't wait. Swing by your favorite store, grab your bush, and join the fun. Because here in Saipan, the best moments are even better with Bush. Grab your bush today.
If you think girls and women's equality matter, stand up. If girls and women's sports matter, and you want your daughters to have the same opportunity you had, stand up. If you know that it isn't fair or safe to allow males to compete in girls' sports, because it's, well, obvious, stand up. Don't be cowed by people who call you a bigot. You're not a bigot. Don't let men tell us how to be good girls. Don't let others tell you you just need to be quiet. Sit down. Be nice. It's not nice to further a lie. It's not mean to believe in women's equality. We deserve our own sports, privacy, fairness, safety. We deserve a chance to compete and win. So don't be nice. Don't be careful. Be honest. Be brave. Fight for women. We've come too far to give up now. And if you agree with that, stand up and stand with us.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. We're learning more about Sunday night's collision that killed 2 airline pilots. Julie Walker has the latest.
The fire truck in the deadly collision with an Air Canada jet at New York's LaGuardia Airport Sunday did not have a transponder, something not required, but NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy says maybe it needs to be.
Controllers should have all the information and the tools to do their job.
She also says the airport surface detection did not alert, and while there were 2 air traffic controllers, it's unclear what their roles were.
It is not clear who was conducting the duties of the ground controller. We have conflicting information.
The truck was crossing the tarmac for a different plane with an odor issue when the collision with the Air Canada jet happened. Both pilots died, 40 passengers were injured. The NTSB stressing there are usually numerous failures accounting for major accidents. Julie Walker, New York.
On Capitol Hill, senators working on a proposal to end the Homeland Security shutdown that's led to mass travel disruptions. In the Iran war, President Trump insists negotiations are taking place, though Iran fired a dozen missile salvos at Israel, which carried out strikes on what it described as Iranian production sites. Meantime, Saga Magane reports Secretary of State Marco Rubio's headed to Europe.
Rubio will be at a G7 meeting in France for talks focused on the Middle East, Russia's war in Ukraine, and other threats. Nearly all other G7 members have reacted coolly to the Iran war and are not participating. President Trump has alternately lashed out.
We don't need anybody.
And said it would be nice if they would take part in helping reopen the Strait of Hormuz.
You need a lot of help.
Some G7 and NATO nations have indicated a willingness recently to back appropriate action for restoring the waterway to normal operations. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
This is AP News. Seth Sutel has the AP Markets Report.
Stocks gave back some of their gains from a day earlier on Wall Street, while crude oil prices rose again. The S&P 500 fell 0.4% Tuesday. The index yo-yoed between gains and losses throughout the day. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dipped 84 points, that's about 0.2%. The Nasdaq Composite fell 0.8%. Oil prices clawed back some of the ground they lost on Monday. That helped send energy stocks higher. ExxonMobil rose 2.6%. Treasury yields climbed in the bond market. The yield on the 10-year Treasury note rose to 4.39%. Seth Sutel, New York.
At a New Mexico jury's found the social media conglomerate Meta is harmful to children's mental health and in violation of the state's consumer protection law. Prosecutors accused Meta of placing profits over safety. There's more news at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
All right, maybe I'll try it with the microphone turned on. Good morning, Marianas, so welcome back. It is very loud when I do stuff like that. 8:11 in the morning here on Wednesday. It is hump day. We are midway through the week, and it's a great opportunity for you to get behind the wheel of your cool new car. What is that car going to look like? Well, we're going to find out, but you want to reach out to the folks over at Atkins Kroll Toyota because, boy, they got the vehicle that you need to get through the roughest weather the Marianas has to offer. Well, let's get down to the roads and see exactly what the Marianas has to offer with regards to traffic this morning. Looking pretty good so far. Only some traffic at the intersections of note, I should say, over there by the intersection that matters, at the place where connections matter, IT&E. A lot of folks lining up just to take a selfie with Paul Guerrero. Over there at the old AK intersection, you got a bunch of people waving hands at each other. Not too bad. But a lot of folks are starting to build up over there by the courthouse. That is always a busy spot by Guma Justicia for sure. As you make your way down, just remember this is the time when the kids from Marianas High School and all the high schools starting to get into school. High school starts at 9 o'clock, so they are making their way. Not like me. I would have been there pushing the limits of punctuality and trying to create my own version of being on time back in high school. Anyway, down there in Chalumpiao, it's looking pretty good. And a little bit of traffic over there by Guangdong Hardware. It seems like there's always a lot of folks making their way through there. All right, over by Shell Dandan, things are looking pretty good, but definitely going to be backing you up, slowing you down all the way down to that little creeper road that takes you behind Joten Dandan. But that's not a creeper road because people are there. It's just a little creep road. All right, hey, by the light over there, it's a little bit hectic over there by the Iglesia Ni Cristo Church. But let's start making our way up through San Vicente, where there is traffic aplenty by the old roundhouse for sure. A lot of folks over there stuck in traffic trying to get through, trying to make that left-hand turn coming from Dan and trying to make their way back. Some other folks trying to make their way up the hill as well. All right, let's look on East Drive all the way back around. Everything looks pretty good. A little bit of a traffic buildup by the bus stop over there by the Rodeo Drive of Saipan. That's right. It is the New Sarah Market, Zenu Market, and Capitol Hill Market area. A lot of folks who are trying to make their way around, getting stuck behind a bus or a slow truck right now. But that's about the biggest thing you got to worry about. But when you start getting through Puerto Rico, things look pretty good until you get by the Marianas Heights building. A little bit of traffic there as you're making your way through Garapan. Things looking okay. That double barrel look, of course, again, over there by the museum, you got some traffic built up. Everything else is looking pretty good. And almost as good as you'll look behind the wheel of your brand new Toyota Highlander or your Corolla Cross or your Camry or your 4Runner. It could be your your vehicle of choice. Look at, they've got $2,500 down payment assistance, 3 years of free service, and they've got the best resale brand value, according to the folks over at Kelly Blue Book. Not too shabby. Well, that's how you're going to feel. You can start going places with the good folks at AK. Give them a call at 234-5911 and find out what they can do for you. I don't know. I think they're going to make you look pretty fancy. You guys already look good because you're watching the show, but you never know how great you're going to look until you actually get in there with those folks at AK. It's a great spot. Today, take a break from the weather. Go in there and hang out with those guys. They got a great lobby, and they've got great coffee in there, too, so not a bad idea. All right, well, my goodness, we're going to start talking about some wild things that happened today. We'll talk about my vehicle and talk about some gas. Here, watch this. Patow. We're going to talk about the price of gas going up, affecting all kinds of folks. And some of those vehicles over there at AK Toyota, they are hybrids, so they're going to save you a bundle. But look, even on my news van of justice, my 3-cylinder Daihatsu of power and might, that I get great prices on gas. I went to the gas station and filled up the tank this morning. And I love the folks. I'm a Shell person. I'm used to going to Shell. I see the same faces. They're smiling faces. We talk about all kinds of stuff. They educate me in the ways of the world. But today, the shock and surprise of the folks, SB, over there saying, hey, I've never seen your van cost this much for gas. I'm like, me too. It was $40. $40 to fill up my van. If my van cost $40 to fill up, oh, Nelly, I know you guys are paying a lot for gas. Oh, man. One of the guys who I really, really like just bought a Tundra this year. And I know his fuel prices, oh, dude, I'm telling you, I wouldn't doubt it. You got to be up there around 170 now to fill up your tank. Could you imagine spending $170 to fill up your gas tank? And I'm not talking about like these tractor trailer drivers going cross country. Like $170 to fill up your tank. Granted, my vehicle, $40 today. That was a big deal for me. I can't believe it. Who has a K? Let's make a deal for my 4Runner, and I'll even throw in the rims. Oh my God, I'll tell you, Tobot Castro, that's the deal of the century. He's got the best rims on his 4Runner too. Your 4Runner is pretty badass, but those rims are even cooler. Those are bad. Like Michael Jackson bad, like in a cool way. No, not that kind of bad. Oh no, I ruined it. Michael Jackson bad means something totally different. That's like Bill Cosby good. We got to put the pills in the people. I know. Anyhow, but yeah, $40 to fill up my car now. That I can't imagine what everybody else in Saipan is paying right now. You guys, I'm telling you, get yourself a K-Van. Get yourself a K-Van. It's cheap and it's great. I love it. And it's easy to find a place to park, too. And even if there aren't any parking spaces, it's small. If you just put it in your pocket and walk in with it, it's fine. Just a little heavy for a little while. But other than that, it's good. All right. Well, anyway, a lot going on. I couldn't believe $40, but you know it's a big deal when the folks who work at the gas station are shocked by how much your fill-up is. Right? Because they deal with everybody. So I'm like, oh, I guess it's legit. That's how you know it's real. that is it. All right, well, hey, how did you guys spend your Covenant Day? It was Covenant Day yesterday. For you guys in the mainland, you're watching everything that's happening here. It is Covenant Day for you, looking at it. But it is Covenant Day here it was Covenant Day here in the Marianas. And there were so many events that were going on yesterday. It was wonderful. Yesterday, one of the things that we ended up doing, we met with a bunch of veterans, and then we had author Dan King in studio with us. And then, we spoke about the tanks, because he wrote this book called The Iron Graves of Saipan, talking about the Japanese tanks. And he talked about how he went through and documented all the tanks in Saipan, all the remnants of them and the wreckage, and how he'd spoken with folks who were involved, some of the folks who served in those tanks. And then we said, hey, have you ever seen the one that's over here on the side of the hill? They're like, no. There's one over there. I'm like, oh. So we took a hike out yesterday and brought him out to one of those tanks. And I'm not sure if I uploaded it to the computer. If I did, I'll let you guys check it out. But it was, this is over there. It's actually not Gualarai. When we were talking, I said Gualarai, but it's actually Chalanquiza. And I do have it. Do I have the video here? I do. So I'll just show you a brief video. We'll put it up on the old share screen for you. But yeah, we took this hike. I want to say thanks to Jim Cook. Jim Cook, we kind of staged over at his place and hiked over there from his place. And he let us out there. He made the arrangements with the family because we had to go through some family land to get there. But he was kind enough to do that for us. So we'll bring you over here. Let's pop that on the screen and let you see what we got here.
Yeah, the name would have been the name would have been written, or the logo would have been right here, right on the skirt. There was probably photos somewhere in the National Archives of this in this condition, just like this, and we can identify it.
And this is just out there in the jungle in Chalanquiza. And when we found it in 2013, it was complete. But over the years, somebody had cut out the gun from it, removed the machine guns, and some of the glass, and then it's deteriorated a bit. But when we found it about 14 years ago, it was totally complete, totally intact. And we've got photos of that as well. But imagine finding that with the gun
cool
still
Saipan
there.
Adventure. Awesome. Better than I expected. Oh, the hook.
Yeah, imagine being the one that found that in your backyard. That sound is Jim clearing the jungle a little bit. Chopping away.
I don't know, there might be something down under all those leaves, like a pistol, a sword, a bayonet, a dog tag, something. Wouldn't be surprised.
And this was just a treat for Dan. It was great for us because I hadn't been out there for a while. It's sad to see the state of it, but Jim had sent us some photos that he's got of it from when we first found it. And I say we like it was me. I'm not the one who found it first at all, but I have been there. And, but seeing this, this is part of that far from ordinary stuff that we talk about for MVA, for marketing us about. They talk about our museums being outdoors. That's it. By the way, so over on the sides here, you can see those are the headlight covers. And he said that from all the meetings, all the interviews that he's done, they put those backwards. They faced them backwards when they were going into battle. So you know that this, whatever happened with this tank, they were on their way into battle.
There's damage and we could compare it to old photos, right?
Mm-hmm.
This looks like it could be old damage. This right here, this looks like it might be old.
Until that expert camera work when the finger gets in the way.
What do you think? This crack? You guys think this could be old damage from the war? This thing?
By the way, you can see where he's outlining that cut area. That thing underneath it is actually an asbestos lining because there were rounds for the main gun that were mounted on the inside of that turret. Also, underneath that, just below it, is a whole rack where you can store the rounds for the ammunition for the main gun. All the rounds, of course, are gone, but you can see it a little bit from here. Earlier in the video, I got a good shot of that. Yeah, but he was definitely happy to be able to find something like this and document it. And now here, you're going to see, we're going to go down and take a look. So the rubber is still intact. And so that's Kaoru from PDI. So she's tracking stuff that's written on the tire. So later, she had searched it out and said that that is now Bridgestone tires. That's all in Japanese right there. But so that's by the company that now makes Bridgestone.
Our tires last longer than the tank.
Anyway, just a great adventure. That's what we ended up doing after we got out of here yesterday. And it was just really, pretty cool to not only see it again, but to bring someone else out there who appreciates, some of this stuff that we've got. And I know that that's not it's not the history of the island necessarily, but it's part of it for sure. And we really enjoyed getting out there and checking that out. And again, sharing some of that. And hopefully, he's going to be writing about all this kind of stuff in his books, his next books, and all this other stuff. So hopefully that helps promote what we've got here in the CNMI. It is great. It is. And excuse me, it's just one of those lucky things that we've got. I mean, who has a Japanese tank in their backyard? Well, these guys do. And so I want to say thanks to the family for letting us get back there and check it out and see what's going on. Well, hey, let's find out what's going on in sports. We got your update from the folks over at Fox Sports. Here we go.
Fox Sports Update.
One win streak in the NBA continued Monday night, while another one ended. Everything's going right for the Oklahoma City Thunder. They have the best record in the league. They've already clinched a playoff spot and entered Monday's game against the 76ers on an 11-game win streak. And it was light work for the defending NBA champs.
Nice pass out to the perimeter, and McCain yet again laces one from three.
The call on FanDuel Sports Network, Oklahoma. That's Jared McCain hitting a three for OKC. This is his first game back in Philadelphia since last month's trade. He finished with 13 points as the Thunder beat the Sixers 123-103.
This is Ainsley Earhart. Thank you for joining me for the 52-episode podcast series, The Life of Jesus.
A listening experience that will provide hope, comfort, and understanding of the greatest story ever told. Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Meanwhile, the Lakers were trying to get their 10th win in a row as they faced the Pistons. But LA did not expect a career night from Detroit guard Danis Jenkins.
Danis drives. Danis from the baseline. Fires, fills it with 24.6 left.
The call on FanDuel Sports Network Detroit. Jenkins finished with a career-high 30 points as the Pistons win at 113-110 to snap the Lakers' win streak. Elsewhere in the league, the Spurs extended their win streak to 6 straight games. They take down the Heat 136-111. Only one game taking place in the NHL Monday, the Senators defeating the Rangers 2-1. A shakeup taking place in men's college basketball. ESPN reports that Arizona State is hiring St. Mary's head coach Randy Bennett to a 5-year deal to become the Sun Devils' next head coach. He is St. Mary's all-time wins leader. In 25 seasons as head coach, he led the Gales to 12 NCAA tournaments. To replace Bennett, ESPN reports that St. Mary's is expected to promote their associate head coach Mickey McConnell to be their next head coach. McConnell is an alum of St. Mary's, having played for Bennett from 2007 to 2011. He's been on the Gales coaching staff since 2019. It's game on with the Fox Sports app, available wherever you download apps. I'm Tony Genualdo.
Get more on the Fox Sports app and foxsports.com.
Join Fox in supporting our troops. From daily needs to global emergencies, help us be there for those who serve. Visit go.fox/Red Cross to donate to service to the armed forces today.
Are you or someone you know living with a mental illness? Have you experienced abuse or neglect, denial of services, or discrimination because of a mental illness or disability? You have rights. NM Posse is the Northern Marianas Protection and Advocacy Systems Incorporated, and we're here for you. Individuals diagnosed with mental illness have human, civil, and legal rights under federal and local law. No one should be mistreated, denied services, or discriminated against because of a disability. NM Posse's PIME program provides protection and advocacy for individuals with mental illness and provides information about your rights, advocacy and assistance for eligible individuals, and support in cases involving abuse, neglect, or discrimination. Services are confidential and provided at no cost to eligible individuals. To learn more, call NM Posse today at 670-235-7273 or 7274 or email gborja@nmposse.org.
Alarm clock bark, sky still gray, radio clicks on, static haze. Good morning, Marianas, in my face, Brad yelling, wake up, Saipan, no escape. Coffee burns my lip, he laughs in my kitchen, talks like he knows every bruise that I am in. Good morning, Marianas, rise up, Saipan, hearts on the harbor, headlines in his hand. Good morning, Marianas, live from the reef to the ridge, bread with the weather, and a dare on the bridge. Traffic on Beach Road, kids half dressed. He jokes about rain and unpaid rent. Says call the show, tell me what you regret. Then plays our song like a second chance bet. He says, say your name, we say it like a prayer. Through busted speakers, we are almost there. Good morning, Marianas, rise up, Saipan. Shacks and condos, all sing with the fan. Good morning, Marianas, old scars, new daylight. Brad talks nonsense, somehow gets it right. Who is this voice in my cracked dashboard? Why does it feel like he is keeping score of every tired island soul dragged out of bed? Every maybe I morning, Marianas. Yeah, shout it again. Brad says you are awake, so start living it then.
Good morning, Marianas. It is Wednesday. It is 8:33 in the morning here, and it is rainy outside, but it is great. What a fun phone call that we got just now. I can't really get into all of it, but what I can do is talk about patience and why it's important to be patient with your Manamku. No doubt about it. I had a really interesting interaction at the bank the other day, and it was Monday, right after we got back. I was just going to make a deposit at Bank of Guam. Gotta love it. And the folks over at the Bank of Guam were great. And I saw all kinds of people there. And, one of the Manamco guys, he's really excited about stuff. And he's like, oh, yeah, let's talk. Hey, mister. And we were talking. He saw Governor Torres was in line, too. And he's saying hi to him. And then he's just a lot. And I'm like, yep, you just got to listen. Yeah, you just got to be there, be patient, and listen, and all that stuff. Hey, let's take a picture. Okay, let's take a picture. Wait, no. Let's go out. We'll take it by my truck. I'm like, I'm in line at the bank. Like, I'm next. I already let people go past me. I'm like, all right, look. There's a lot going on in your life, Brad. What's more important than this? Just have this experience with this guy that you don't really know. We're going to take this picture, and it's going to be great. We're going to have this conversation. It's going to be great. And it was great. I'm glad that I did it. I am. I'm sitting here thinking about all this stuff I need to do. I had just gotten back from Rhoda. I have all this catch up to do. I haven't even seen the family, like everything. And I'm so wrapped up in that. And I think that conversation was something I needed just to kind of, as like a readjustment of like, all right, just chill out, relax, and be present for a little while. Don't worry about all that other stuff. Well, anyway, that was the same guy. He just called me because I gave him my business card. And he started telling me this story. And I am one who tells long stories. So this might be a glimpse into my future. But he started telling me this story, leading me down this path to get to the first information point. It's not there yet, but just listening. And you know what? Again, it is that exercise, not just patience. It's at the very beginning it is, because I'm like, all right, what are you telling me? Where are we getting at? What you got? I got the show. And I'm like, no, I could be here for a little bit. I could just appreciate the conversation. And then it got to a point where I'm like, all right, I know that I'm going to have more than a minute and a half to get to the next thing he's going to be telling me. So I'm like I got to call you back after the show. Also, some people would just say, Brad, you just need to tell people that you got to go. Okay, all right. Caleb says, are you going back to CUC? Like working there? I had no conversations with them about that. No. Also, I took way too big of a sip for as hot as that coffee is. Caleb says, are you going back to CUC, like to go visit and check it out? I'd love to. But as far as working there, no. Those guys are great. I love it. I love everything that I was doing when I was there. If I ever did that, that would take a lot of work to figure out that relationship and make sure it works out the right way. Make sure that position would be set up for success. But I would love doing it because it's cool. By the way, I've seen these lights flicker a few times already this morning, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I have, Caleb, I've got no invitation from them to do that. And I don't know anything about it at all. So I haven't heard a thing about that. That's like out of the blue for PIO. Yeah, I definitely was not contacted for anything like that. It's like a totally unexpected comment. And I know I couldn't do that and this, so I'd have to end this or pass it on to someone to run it while I would do it. And so it would be a pretty massive thing considering like my entire life shift to go to fix this and make this. And that would be crazy. It would be crazy for me, but if I did it, it's because there would be a real reason to do it. Either this isn't working out, or that opportunity would be so great, or the need would be so good. But I'll tell you what I would do. I would go there to talk to them and guide them through what I think would be helpful for the organization as far as like getting the information out and selecting the people to do that job. I would be happy to do something like that. I mean, if they paid me for a consultation on it, I would take it. But I would be happy to, because I loved that job. When I was at CUC, I loved it. It was so great to know everything about that. Like that job itself, like what we're doing here is an adventure for here, right? Like I'm trying to figure out, this is my adventure for life. Figuring out how to run a business. Starting with our first employee who starts today, Cheyenne Jones. Congratulations. So we're going to make an announcement about that too, but that's so cool. But that's new. It is a very new part of the adventure, and this is my adventure right now. Building this place out, getting more equipment, fixing the walls, getting this whole sink thing put in, putting down the carpet, getting this back, forging relationships that help me get stuff like that put in, and then that backdrop that's going to be going over there, and developing new shows and products and all that stuff. Like, this is my life adventure right now. This is it. But for CUC, I could tell you, CUC is an adventure for whoever is going to become the real public information officer over there. I know they have some people helping with media stuff, and they're doing a good job at that, right? Putting out the press releases, coming up with that format. It looks really good. It's clean. They get the Google Earth and maps and everything. They're doing a great job with that. But if you get someone who is going to be a real public information officer, and by that I mean, it's not discounting the work that's being done. Don't take that negative at all. But someone who's going to be that face person, who's going to get out in front of the camera and explain stuff. The person who's going to go to those places where that crisis is happening, where that outage is, and showing this is what our guys are doing right now to try to fix this. When there's a water outage, hey guys, this is what it looks like right now. See these guys who are in the bottom of this pit with mud and water up to their chins while they're trying to figure this stuff out for you? That's why you don't have water in whatever. That is the job. And going in and to the power plant and touring around and showing people what's going on and doing spotlights on the employees who have been there for a long time. Like I would love like one of the follow-up stories, because one of the first female linemen with CUC, we did a story on back then, and she's still there, killing it for CUC, and she's not alone now. And then you've got people in all the different divisions, and don't neglect the wastewater folks, because that they're important too. People don't call as much, like if they have power and water versus the stuff with the wastewater. But the wastewater is a big deal. Trust me, if it's not working, everybody knows about it. So that's an adventure on its own. Whoever takes that job and takes up that challenge, boy, you grab on with both hands and go for that ride. Go on that adventure. Tell the story of the people who are just killing it for our Commonwealth every single day over there. That's it. So in the meantime, this is my life adventure. Trying to balance everything between the family and a business and being a husband and a friend, and then trying to find some sanity for myself. I'm living that adventure right now. There's your little 2-second autobiography thing, I guess. But that's it. So I'm telling you, that CUC is. It's a really cool place, and there's endless stories. Like there's over 300 people who work there. I can't remember what the total number is when I was there, but it's over 300. But all the different divisions. That's not to take away like the accounting people who make stuff happen. Even the you could see like really good things happen like that are so small. The longer that you're there, you can see that the impact that like one person can make. And here's another thing too, why that PIO is such an important thing. It's because when you do a good job of getting that information out, you help other parts of that corporation. What part? Well, first of all, you're helping the morale of the people who work there. That's important. That pride for what everybody is. And yes, you're right. All 3 islands. You have to do all 3 islands. And you have to get there when you can. But you have to be able to do it the right way. And you can do it. And you can work with the folks who are there. But you help with the morale of the team that's there. Because they get beat up. People talk some smack about CUC. That happens because people get frustrated and all that stuff. I totally understand it. But you also alleviate the load on the call center. Because you help that call center by putting out all that info. People are going to come to you and get all that. So now they're not just making calls saying, hey, the water's out. Now that person's got to put that out right away. Say, hey, guys, we know what's going on. Thanks for the heads up. We're going to put it out. We're going to give you an update on what's going on. But the next step of that isn't like, okay, my job's done here. No, your job now is to get dirty. Get your reflective vest, get your helmet, and go to where it's at. And you got to provide updates. You can't just say, well, I haven't heard back from them yet. No, you're that person. You get out there. It's not an air conditioning job kind of job, right? You, in that position, go out there and you learn it. And by the way, you're learning that job for that corporation. And you're getting closer to the people that you work with. You're not just some, top floor executive position kind of person. No, you're with them. And you're telling that story and you're showing people what's going on. And you're letting the community know what's going on because that's what you're doing. Now, whoever's the executive director has to give that person wings because if you don't, then and they got to get everything approved before they can make a post and all that other stuff. That's not helping. But that person who's the executive director has to trust the person that they hire for that position to be able to do all that stuff. That is super important. I'm not talking about polished press releases and all that stuff. I'm talking about regular updates about things that are going on. If your person who's running the information gets the accurate information and can put it out, and somebody who has good judgment to do that stuff too, right? I mean, you're not saying, oh yeah, we're not sure. No. You have to develop that relationship and you don't just wait for the crises. The important part is that constant back and forth, that constant feeding of information to the community through the social media channels and press releases and all that other stuff and relationships with your reporters and the community. And that is where you build the credibility so that people will trust you with what you have to say. So that's what whoever's going to do that job has to feel that way about it. You can't convince me otherwise. It's not like you're working for another line agency somewhere. This is a real deal. It's the most important agency in the Marianas. There's a couple of them that are the most important for sure. CUC, CHCC. What about me? What about my thing? I know all you guys are, but everything else depends on those guys. Everything else, every other agency, every other government organization, every person, every family relies on that to do all the other good stuff that they do, right? So it's not taken away from anybody, so dispensa. But the good folks at PSS, they don't have water, they can't teach. They got to close the school. If they don't have any water left in the tanks, they're done. The hospital can't function if it doesn't have power and water. CUC is the most important organization in Saipan because of that. They're not more private public. No, look, I'm telling you, you're right. All of the other organizations are great and they do great things, but they could not function without the stuff that's happening from CUC. That's why it's so important to tell that story and to tell it right and to let people know. And also for the people who are running that show over there, that's why they have to appreciate how important it is to get the information out. Saying that we're going to continue to update you on the situation, and then 2 hours later, there's still no updates. What do they say in the military? That's unsat. It's unsatisfactory. You can't promise people that. You have to manage expectations and all that stuff. Again, we're not throwing shade on anybody. We're giving you I'm giving you the nickel tour of what this presentation would be, to say whoever you're hiring has to want that job, and it's not a paycheck. Because it should be a good paycheck, but it's not a paycheck. It is a passion to tell the story of the people that work for the Commonwealth Utilities Corporation. And that's it. So that's what I'm thinking. So Caleb, for asking about that stuff, like, hey, am I going back? No, there's no. It would be. There's no offer or anything like that at all, and it would be like a real. It would be a real thing if that ever happened. I mean, it'd be cool, but I think that I would be very happy to help pick whoever that next person is. But it's a cool thing. I missed a bunch of your comments, by the way. Hold on. 500 plus for all 3 islands, the employees? Yeah, for CUC. Thank you so much. Wow. And look at that. 500. You're talking about a community that we're under 40,000 people now, CNMI wide. 500 people in one organization is pretty big. You know, that's a whole graduating class from MHS right there. But then these are people who've been together for some cases decades. And there's so much institutional knowledge for those folks, especially the water guys. They know where everything's going and how everything works, especially the power guys and which part of the power. Well, it doesn't matter. The linemen, they know how things get connected and all this other stuff. In fact, I remember talking about the typhoon stuff because you mentioned that, Caleb. It was great. But no, we need them. I'm telling you, I can get the information out. I just need somebody to let me know what's going on. But you know what I would do? I would love to do a maybe this is it. Maybe that's my pitch to CUC. If they're not doing that, let's do regular information sessions. Let me go in there and learn a bunch of stuff and do some stories on it. And these would be stories. I'd let them approve it too, because it would almost be like a marketing piece for them, to let people know what's going on so that everybody knows what the deal is. But I mean, like, I would do it. I would take that contract for sure to do stuff like that. But like, man, to be that person when that's your whole job, that should be like so powerful. Like that should be the thing that gets you out of bed in the morning when you go and do that, you know? And by the way, I had to earn some street cred with the people I worked with over there at CUC. They're not like, hey, there's our new PIO. He's going to be great. No, it's like, that dude, what is he doing? You know, he's just going to do a bunch of Facebook. No, you have to be there. You have to show that you appreciate what they're doing. Otherwise, yeah, you're just that person that rolls around with the director, wears clean clothes, you know, takes showers when the power is out and all that stuff. I'm not saying don't take showers. But if you're not out there feeling it just like everybody else. Oh, that was one thing too. I didn't shave during that time until they really connected this stuff to the house. I could have done it at the office and all that stuff, but I felt like, because at the office we had access to water and power. At the house, we didn't. We didn't have power at the house or water, I think, for a month and a half. Kathy was out there getting all the water and all that other stuff. But I didn't want to get disconnected from the people who are going through the same stuff as me. Everybody was miserable. Anyway, that was a long time ago. And CUC is going to have that person. But yeah, I would definitely... I should make a proposal, Caleb. I should make a proposal to them to do some of that stuff. Know your utility. Know what's going on. Let's talk about the things that you need to know. Know your feeders. When they're putting out press releases about, oh, feeder this to that, they assume that everybody knows those feeders. Do they? No. That's one of the things that we did, like when we were first there too. Get to know your feeders. Called them feeder fighters. So you get to know what feeder you're on, and when they talk about partials, what does that mean? And that's exciting stuff to talk about. Anyway, do you think that was a long talk about utilities? Yes, I do. Sorry, but you can tell I still love it. It was so cool, and I'm telling you, you go inside that warehouse. The warehouse is cool because there's so much stuff, and the people who work in there are great. When you go inside that power plant, it's like you're walking into a spaceship. I mean, or like did you see the movie Titanic? No, I'm not talking about the sinking part, but there's like a couple of scenes where they showed those guys throwing the coal into the boilers and all that other stuff, so you could see how massive it looked. But that's just movie magic, right? When you go into the power plant and you see how massive these generators are, it's like, holy smokes, it's huge. And the whole operation, and then you see how it's all wired in the control rooms and all this other stuff. And yeah, I think it's cool. I'm a little excited about it, right? All right. Well, where are we? Oh my God! Just like that, we talked about utilities for all that time. 8:54 in the morning here on Wednesday. It is Hump Day, and that's apparently how we're going to roll today. That's the kind of stuff that we were talking about. Yeah, but it is great to see all of you guys, and thanks for joining me on this adventure, because it certainly is a lot of fun. A lot of craziness happening in the world. The fuel prices are going to be crazier and crazier. Hopefully that'll change, but in the meantime, ride a bike. Like yesterday, we went to pick up some of the materials for building out that new backdrop that we got back there, and one of the guys who works there, I'm like, oh, this guy's not probably affected by these fuel prices at all, because he rides his bike like a champ. He's just and he's fast, so that's got to be good for him. Hey, real quick, I just want to go back to you guys in the comments. Caleb, good morning. Thanks for being here with us, and thanks for throwing some nuggets my way, stuff to talk about. Saipan Nenny, yeah, I know it was a change my mind moment, right? That's what it was. It was me sitting at a table just now saying, change my mind. That's it. And I have other stuff that seems so trivial now after talking about that. Martin Cepeda, good morning to you, sir. Great to see you. Thanks for being here with us. Hannah Igasayar, oh my God, I'm having such great conversations with my new good friend over there. She is one of the cool people that I know, and I'm so glad that she's with us. Eric Mofnas, I know you were here earlier, so thanks for joining us today. My veteran brother out there getting it done over there at the port. Subligson08 says, awesome idea earlier, talking about the scavenger hunt that we're going to be doing with the folks from the National Weather Service. But here in Saipan, go out, take your photos of those tsunami signs and put them together to see how many you can get. How many of those tsunami signs and tsunami evacuation signs can you find? Landon is putting together a prize package for the winner of our contest. How many can you find? That's the question. All right, who else is out there? Carmen, thanks. I know you were here earlier as well. Ignacio de la Cruz was with us today. Thank you so much. Ann Attow, our big fan with the cats and the cat gifts, was here with us. Thanks so much. Great to see you too. Luisa Cabrera, I know one of these days we're going to be able to play baseball again and softball and all that stuff. Maybe we just need to get a big dome stadium. Maybe. I doubt it's going to happen. But, maybe. Or we start playing some kind of indoor, smaller side baseball. Arolyn Loves Life, was here with us. Thanks so much. That was so great to see you this morning as well. All you guys. And I can only scroll back so far. Evelyn Kango was here. Ryan was here. Norma Yvette was here. Eldon Dela Cruz, great to see you too, man. Of course, the tip man from Dan, Tobat Castro, with us today, talking about, my God, telling you, what if they had like a K version of the 4Runner? That would be pretty cool. I guess they would call it a 3-runner because it's only got a 3-cylinder engine. They got the pre-runner. This would be the 3-runner. That would be it. Hey, before we get out of here, if you haven't already, please give this show today, like this version, this episode, a like or some sort of a reaction, we're trying to get those all the time. It's the coolest thing. It's almost like you're donating to the show. Jeff says, I love riding my bike, but we need more sidewalks on Island. Very sketchy in some places. I totally agree. Not a lot of safety going for you on Middle Road at all. You got to try to take not Middle Road as much as you can. But going back to that, hey, if you guys can give us a like here and check us out on Facebook, give us a like over there as on YouTube as well. If you haven't followed us already on Facebook and Instagram, please do. Please subscribe to us over on the YouTube side. There's so many of you watching on Facebook, which is great. But if you subscribe to us on YouTube, it's massive for us. By the way, we got our first check from YouTube. And it wasn't even a check. It was a deposit. We got our first deposit from YouTube. We're famous. Okay, we're not famous. But that's because of you guys. From you guys watching, you guys, the views, we get that based off the views. So if you're watching over here, please give us a watch over there on the YouTube side. You don't have to watch the whole show, but you can if you want. Keep watching us on Facebook if that's your primary, or on our website. But holy cow, I'm telling you, it was so cool. I'm like, where did this deposit come from? Got the email from Google saying that it was from the views that we got over here on the YouTube side. Now, don't get me wrong, that is not enough to live off of, but it's pretty cool, right? This little thing that started in the spare bedroom of the house, just from posting on YouTube and doing this show with you guys. All right, well, thanks, guys. We're going to wrap it up. I want to say thanks. We'll get you the latest news before we get out of here, because I know there is going to be a new news update. A new. Let's just make sure it's there. Actually, it doesn't look like it. It looks like the new one hasn't dropped yet. We'll give it another minute to see if the 9 o'clock version is up from the Associated Press. And if it is, we'll have it for you. It looks like they may be lagging a little bit. Let me see on the other side of town, the Fox News guys, see if it pops up. And it's there. It always is. All right. So I'll check the other guys. I'll check AP again real quick. We're going to be posting a whole bunch of stories here pretty soon. There's some folks who want to, they've got some ideas about projects that we could do together. So we're going to be working on that with them today. Tomorrow is going to be a special show. Tomorrow, it's going to be a shorter show as well. Tomorrow is going to be us broadcasting from the Multi-Purpose Center, because we are going to be live streaming the Women's Summit brought to you by the Commonwealth Women's Association. They reached out and asked if we could live stream it. We said, yes, of course. So we're going to do that. I'll get there early so I can set up for our show, so we could do our show. But we're going to bring you their presentation and everything, and that's going to be all day tomorrow, pretty much, from 8 in the morning till 3 p.m. That's a lot of hours, right? From 800 to 1500, that's 7 hours. So we'll get in, we'll do our show, a shorter one, and then transition right in to bringing you the Women's Association Women's Summit. So that's tomorrow. That's what's on tap for us. Remember, if you've got any questions for us, please send us a message. If you've got a story you'd like us to cover, send us a message. You can access it on the website, on the Contact Us for news tips and all that stuff. You can send it to our number here, the 789-2323. You can WhatsApp to that number or call it. And what else can you do? You can send us a DM on the Facebook, on the Instagram, on the YouTube. And you name it, you let us know, and we'll chase that down for you. All right? And if you got something cool that's happening that you think that we should be a part of, hey, let us know about that too. And we count on you to help us get this stuff out. If you've got news tips, if you see something, take a photo, take a video, send it to us, and we'll get it out there, and we'll let people know that we got it from you. And if you don't want us to use your name, tadza problema. We won't do that either. And we are also work with the folks from the Department of Public Safety. So if you have any tips on crimes that are happening, send them our way. We'll get them out there to you. All right. and we can make sure that, your name is totally protected and left out from that. And don't forget, you also have the ability to get up to $1,000 by doing that with the folks from NMI Crime Stoppers, and they want your information, not your name, 234-7272. They've got up to $1,000 for information that leads to an arrest. All right, that's going to wrap us up for today, guys. Let's see, one more check on the Associated Press. Not yet, but I do have the latest from Fox News, so I'm going to get that to you. All right, folks, here we go. Have a great day. It is Wednesday. It is midweek, and you guys are the best. Love you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Fox News Alert, a landmark ruling against a social media company. I'm Lisa Lacera. A jury in New Mexico ordering Facebook and Instagram parent company Meta to pay $375 million for failing to disclose the risks of its platforms to children in violation of state law. Jurors sided with state prosecutors who argue that Meta prioritized profits over safety and said the company engaged in unconscionable trade practices that unfairly took advantage of the vulnerabilities and inexperience of children. President Trump suggesting progress in talks with Iran to end U.S. airstrikes.
A series of strikes killing Iranian leaders is essentially guaranteed regime change, President Trump says.
We killed all their leadership, and then they met to choose new leaders, and we killed all of them.
The president will not say who in Iran's government is representing the country in talks with the U.S., but says they gave the U.S. a very big present worth a tremendous amount of money.
It was oil and gas related, and it was a very nice thing they did. But what it showed me is that we're dealing with the right people.
President Trump says Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio are involved in the negotiations.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Fox News has learned the commander of the 82nd Airborne Division and his headquarters staff have been ordered to deploy to the Middle East. That could mean more ground troops could follow, as thousands more U.S. Marines are set to cross into CENTCOM's area of operations in the Indian Ocean as soon as Friday. The NTSB examining the cause of Sunday's deadly crash at New York's LaGuardia Airport. Chair Jennifer Homendy says they're looking into the practice of using just 2 people in the control tower in the overnight hours.
They have had this concern for quite a long time. I can understand it's a concern, especially if there's a heavy workload.
2 pilots killed, more than 40 hurt when an Air Canada jet crashed into a fire truck on the runway. America's listening to Fox News.
This is Ainsley Earhart. Thank you for joining me for the 52-episode podcast series, The Life of Jesus.
A listening experience that will provide hope, comfort, and understanding of the greatest story ever told. Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Despite saying he's against it, President Trump voted early by mail in a special election in Florida.
It's a special election for a Florida state House seat. Palm Beach County voter records show President Trump sent his ballot in and it's been counted. He said for years that mail-in voting leads to fraud. Here Monday in Memphis.
Mail-in voting. Mail-in voting means mail-in cheating. I call it mail-in cheating.
He wants Congress to ban universal mail-in voting where every registered voter is sent a ballot. The White House says the president's fine with allowing it for people who, for example, have disabilities, military commitments, or who are traveling on Election Day. President Trump won't be in Florida for the special election Tuesday. He could have voted early in person when he was there. He has said he's against early voting periods, too. Chris Foster, Fox News.
The National Weather Service's Weather Prediction Center is warning the heat dome that's baked the Southwest is moving east and could end up as one of the biggest heat waves in American history. It predicts 1/4 to 1/3 of the 48 continental states will be flirting with records for March. A popular Canadian bank with a big presence in the U.S. adding some tech used in cryptocurrency trading.
Crypto technology is coming to the Bank of Montreal. BMO, as it's called on its commercials, is planning to launch tokenized technology that will allow institutional clients to move money securely at any time. It's collaborating with Marketplace CME Group and Google Cloud Universal Ledger. The bank says it will be the first to offer the service, which will enable 24/7 conversion of U.S. dollars into tokenized deposits and allow business-to-business and other payments. Ginny Coselda, Fox News.
It's a bad time to be looking for a job, according to new Gallup poll. Just 28% of workers in the quarterly survey conducted in the last part of last year said now is a good time to find a job, despite the low unemployment rate. It's a sharp reversal from 2022, when 70% said it was a good time. I'm Lisa Lacera. This is Fox News.
Join Fox in supporting our troops. From daily needs to global emergencies, help us be there for those who serve. Visit go.fox/Red Cross to donate to service to the armed forces today.
If you see something, say something. And stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at NMICrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.